We got an awesome story for you tonight about a local athlete realizing his dream of playing lacrosse for the Gulls.
Yeah, that's right. It was a lot of fun to talk with Brady for this week's After the Whistle. He's a great kid with a bright future at Salisbury, and he is enjoying one final year with the Rams before moving on to the Division III powerhouse.
I tried them all. I tried baseball, I tried football, but I just fell in love with soccer and lacrosse.
Brady Mancha went from a nervous freshman with Parkside soccer and lacrosse, just hoping to make the varsity squad, to one of the top dual sport athletes in the Bayside. His first love was soccer, and the highlight of his career came in his final high school game, scoring the goal that brought home Parkside's first ever boys soccer state championship.
It's honestly a scary feeling because if I miss this, it's not the end of the world because it's still 0-0, but if I make it, then I'm kind of like the hero. It's unreal. Like, the feeling was just crazy. It just felt like it wasn't even real.
And would you believe it if I told you he's an even better lacrosse player? It's been a dream of his for years to play for Jim Berkman at Salisbury University.
Ever since I was younger, I used to do clinics with Coach Berkman, and ever since then, I've just looked up to him and always wanted to play for him. I think I visited him might have been my sophomore year, and he just told me a bunch of things about leadership and working hard and stuff.
For Mancha, his dream will become a reality next spring. Brady will don the burgundy and gold and play for the top lacrosse program at the Division III level right down the road from Parkside. He can expect to play for championships with the Gulls, but before that, he has some unfinished business with the Rams in his final high school campaign.
I mean, my thoughts are good. I'm thinking we're going to have a really good team. We're going to have a good chance of going to Baysides and hopefully making a part in the playoffs.
Now, Mancha's mom, Susan, was an athlete at Salisbury as well. She played field hockey and has been inducted into the school's Hall of Fame. Now, let's take a minute to talk about the Shorebirds, Brandon.
Yeah, things have not been going well for the Birds. They're taking on Myrtle Beach this week at Purdue Stadium. Now, it was not been pretty for the Birds since they scored 7 runs in the first inning on Tuesday to open up this 6-game set. Shorebirds are playing the Myrtle Beach Pelicans this week, the Chicago Cubs affiliate. The Pelicans defeating the Shorebirds tonight by a 5-2 final score. Now, since that 7-run first inning, the Birds have been outscored 33-9. Here's a lone bright spot right here from last night's game. Josue Cruz with an RBI base hit. And then a great play defensively by shortstop Darrell Hernandez. But again, the Birds fall 5-2 tonight, so they are now 5-8 on the season. 2 home games left this weekend before they hit the road to play at Augusta.
Yeah, Brandon, I mean, as you mentioned, things have not been going so well for the Shorebirds this year. I mean, last year they were 68-52. Right now they're 5-8. I mean, this is, and we talked a little bit about it in the preview of the season in terms of a lot of the turnover. I think at least maybe 12 to 14, even more new players, new faces. And when you have to integrate all these new players and new faces, that might result in some growing pains because you guys don't really know each other. You have to figure each other out, and that can kind of reflect on the scoreboard as it has so far. So I know Delmarva fans haven't been the happiest. I mean, they're glad the Shorebirds are back, but, you know, we want to see some wins.
Well, the thing about this year's Shorebirds team is you don't have a Colton Cowser on your team. You don't have a Kobe Mayo, Grayson Rodriguez, who's the top pitching prospect in all of minor league baseball, not on this Shorebirds team this year. There's no real superstar prospects that the Shorebirds have. Meanwhile, you're taking on a team like Myrtle Beach that has Kevin Alcantara and a few other guys like Reginald Preciado who are top 100 prospects in minor league baseball. But on offense, Shorebirds have a few interesting players still. Darrell Hernandez, we saw him make a good play at short, but he's the best player on this team right now. 4 home runs, 2 stolen bases on the season. 2 other players currently have slugging percentages over 500. Those are Isaac Bellany and Nolberth Romero. No one else is slugging over 400 at this point right now. So the order, the batting order is pretty weak. Outside of those top 3, and then combine that with a 5 ERA on the season, you have a losing team. So it appears early on the Shorebirds don't have too much talent compared to previous seasons, but the thing about minor league baseball, it's not so much about the wins and losses, it's about what players can step up and really show the Orioles what they can do.
That's a fact, and that's the whole point of the minor leagues. I mean, as you mentioned, a lot of guys have to go through the system to kind of develop. And as I mentioned before when we were talking about this a couple weeks ago, I mean, that's what the whole system is for, and there's going to be a lot of changes. But as long as the franchise is still here and people can kind of see people grow at the same time, so that's really good. So coming up, meteorologist Ulysses Garcia has a beautiful look at your beautiful weekend forecast ahead. And today is Earth Day, and we're checking out how Delmarva is protecting Mother Earth for future generations.
My name is Darius from Y, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.